Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with the 411 Monday Night Raw edition, June the 12th. It is. I mean, it just is. There were really good points on Raw, personally. And then there were some, like the ending. I just didn't care for the ending. Brock Lesnar returns. I think that they handled this bad. The segment was great, but for them to be in one segment was bad. I felt like the other segments of Raw were lacking, and they could have used another Brock, Samoa Joe kind of thing. You know, I have for many years been of the mindset that it pisses me off to no end that Brock Lesnar just comes in and wrestles once every 3 or 4 months and that's it. And now you got him on Raw. You fly him all the way to Raw and then you use him for 10 minutes and that's it. I mean, basically, just for him to get in the ring and have a brawl. The brawl was fantastic, okay? I love a good locker room emptying pull apart. Because this is what it was. Reminds me of back in the day when I was a part of that. Of course, I was never in the angle of the guys that got pulled apart. I was always one of the guys pulling apart. But still, kind of takes me back. Kind of makes me reminisce, if you will. Joe gets a really good kick. It was kind of a super kick, but it kind of wasn't. I mean, it basically was a super kick, though, to Brock Lesnar. And Brock, to his credit, sells and then makes everybody behind him and around him sell because he flailed his arms and everybody kind of had to sell it. There really wasn't any other option. I will say that I'm glad that they didn't do, and my first reaction when Joe come out, I said they ought to do the headbutt spot. For long-time TNA fans or people that have kept up with Samoa Joe know that when Kurt Angle debuted in TNA, Samoa Joe came out and headbutted him and split him open. I can't remember if he broke his nose but he split him open. And I remember it because in so many TNA packages that was done over the years while I was still watching, that was one of the big spots in the package. So, in hindsight, doing what they did tonight with Joe kind of just bumping him and him, or bumping into him and he bumps, was better than them doing a slap, because that's overdone. The headbutt is kind of a big deal for another company, so you don't want to tip your hat to another company that way. Even though Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe are both in TNA or in WWE now from TNA, but anyway, Elias Sampson beat Dean Ambrose. Miz involved. That I guess is continuing. The Goldust promo was great, but and R-Truth gave one as well later on in the show, but where are we going? I mean, are we just going to do promos? I mean, these guys have got to wrestle at some time. You know, I mean, they need to be working. This is like the 4th week in a row that these guys have just done this, 3rd or 4th week, that they've just done these promos, and R-Truth says the same thing. You're going to get got. I mean, come on, let's do something. And I don't fault the workers here. I fault the creative. The creative and whoever's putting together the show, it's just bad. And they just need to be used better than what they are. Now, it could be worse, but again, at least they're doing something with them. Noam Dar loses to Cedric Alexander in like 10 seconds because of Alicia Fox, and that whole segment just was horrible with Fox. Alicia Fox does really good at being that whiny character, and I guess she really done her job tonight because I couldn't stand it. Maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't. The Bray promo with Seth Rollins, he comes out and responds, and then Bray leaves. With these things, I want to always feel like I want more of this. And this time I just felt like what I got wasn't right. It just didn't feel right to me. I can't really explain it other than that. Apollo Crews beats Kalisto. The Titus brand trying to grow in numbers with Tozawa. Miz is trying to recruit Slater. Rhino wants a tag match. I'll cover that in a minute. Look, I wrote down Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and then Mickey and Dana. Evil Emma finally returns. That right there. With the Cedric thing, that was my big spots of Raw. Cedric finally returning to Monday Night Raw, and then Emma making her long-awaited return to the show as well. And then Sasha Banks comes out. All want the title. We all brawl. I like it. Let's turn it into something. No, let's just do a 6-woman tag. It's so predictable. Let's do something where we actually get a number one contender. How about that? Or how about we go ahead and just put those women, let's cut a deal with SmackDown, and let them have another ladder match this Sunday. They can't do that now because they don't have the right time to promote it. But they could have made it on the show. I just feel like it's WWE dropping the ball in a sense. The creative on Raw has just left me scratching my head for so long that I just don't know what to do with it. Heath Slater and Rhino beat The Miz and The Bear, which everybody's going to pop for. The Bear was some jobber, and now The Bear was Dean Ambrose. I just hope that they don't do the Bear thing anymore. Neville versus Rich Swann never happened because Neville attacked him and beat him down. I was kind of hoping that this is where Cedric would come out and save his buddy and set up finally for him to get a shot at the Cruiserweight title. It's not happening yet. Let's see what happens tomorrow night on 205 Live. The Club beats Enzo and Cass after Cass was beat down, and Show comes out and makes the save, and then Cass is pissed. If you notice in the background again, there was the Revival, Dash Wilder. I'm glad to inform, because I don't report, that he has been cleared medically, so he is able to go now. So I can't wait for him to get back in the ring. And let's hope that, I still personally hope that this is setting up a Revival, Enzo and Cass thing, and that Cass is not about to turn heel on Enzo. I still think that there's still a lot of money that can be made off of these two. I think, which it can always be later, but I just think that with them now, they shouldn't split them now. Anyway. And then the tag title match. Glad to see the tag titles being defended on Raw in a prominent spot in the main event. One fall apiece and then a double count out. So we have no resolution to this. And I don't like ending Raw like that. And I could just be the only one. I just personally don't like it. That's just me. So, yeah, I'm not going to give Raw a grade. I'll let the people decide what the grade is. I don't want to have any hand in it. And now we move to SmackDown. And SmackDown tomorrow night will be very interesting, as it is the go-home show to Money in the Bank this Sunday. So let's see what's going to happen. Already advertised is the 6-person tag, which I don't love. Again, a lot of multi-men matches and 6-person tag. I don't know what to say. I just feel kind of over it all. But anyway, let's see what they can do. I'm sure that the creative will be way better on SmackDown than it is or was tonight on Raw. So there you are. So until tomorrow night, or whenever I can do the 411 for SmackDown, deuces. That's all I got. Chaos out.